All right, welcome to another episode of Niger EPL Nation. We represent West Africa, and we West Africans, especially we Nigerians, are freaking in love with the English Premier League. I'm here today with Warif, who's in Portugal. How are things, Warif?
Yeah, I'm fine. Thank you.
Okay, let's get straight to the game. Warif is an Arsenal fan, so he'll be glad to see that Liverpool is having problems in defense. So I'll start off by saying Liverpool, their front three, fantastic. Ekitike off to his start. First game for Liverpool, a goal. I foresee this guy getting maybe 20 goals, maybe. Florian Wirtz and McAllister did a good job of creating, and their attack looked fantastic. 4 goals, but they gave up 2 goals, and it was very troubling because if you look at that game, it was 2-2 in stoppage time, right, Mr. Wari? And even though it was 4-2, you know how a game goes where it's 2-2, then maybe you score 1 goal, then the other team drops their shoulders. So to me, that the real score of that game was 2-2, 3-2. That was the real value of that game, and it was too close for comfort for Liverpool. Now we know that what's the name of the guy who scored? Semenyo. Semenyo scored 2 goals for Liverpool and exposed their problem, their defense, especially on the fullbacks. Now, to be fair, there was no goals given up until Slot. Slot he took out Frimpong and Kirkes. I think that is what now exposed the defense. And Semenya is already a dangerous player, but taking out Kirkes and Frimpong, they now moved Endo. Endo, who's a CDM, they moved him into a natural position for him. I think they moved him to central defense or to the right fullback. And by doing that, he wasn't in his natural position. And that's when they were able to exploit the defense. Then later on, when Endo messed up, they brought in Gomez, and they put Gomez in that same position again. So those guys weren't in their natural position. And my thing is that when you're leading 2-0, you think that you've won the game. You think you can take out both of your fullbacks, take out Frimpong and Kirkes, and bring in new guys, and you put people in their positions who aren't natural to that position. I think that was a big mistake by Slot. What do you think?
You know, when the Liverpool were leading 2-0, I said, wow, this is going to be a whitewash for Liverpool on Bournemouth.
Yeah.
But you see, the first goal for Liverpool, you know, one thing about in KTK, the guy does not give up. He's a fighter. He's always always pushing for the goal. Because if you watch the first goal, before he came, the ball reflected from his leg, hit the guy, came back to Ekitike, and he didn't give up. And if you watch the goal, before he scored the goal, he was well composed, placed the keeper. The keeper dived the wrong way as if it was a penalty. Then the the goal that Bournemouth scored, the first goal for Bournemouth. If you watch, it was a pressing. You know, Bournemouth is a team that does not give up. It's just that they've sold some of their players.
Counter-attack.
Yes, counter-attack. If you watch that guy, the guy that scored the goals for Bournemouth, he's an experienced player. I'm just surprised that he's still in Bournemouth. Even the second goal that he scored for Bournemouth, I'll blame the Liverpool defense. Yes, Semenyo. I'll blame the Liverpool defense because they were just there. Even the Kanute. He was just the black. Yes, he was supposed to follow the guy. Konate, they just allowed the Bournemouth striker to just go on like that on a solo move until he plays the ball.
And you know what has happened? There was too much of a gap between the center backs. Konate and Van Dijk, they were spread too far apart. So the shape was messed up. The shape was messed up. Yeah.
I suspect that Konate is playing with injury. I suspect he's injured because he was not at his best in this game. Even right from the first half, the commentator was saying it that he's struggling with his opponent on that very wing. So I think
he's not able to close the gaps. Yeah.
Yes, you know, one thing about defenders, if your opponent, the person that you are marking, is very fast, that the person playing the opposite wing is very fast, it will give the defender, mostly if the defender is not fast, it will give you tough time. You know, one thing about football, your opponent will first of all test you to see your ability, either to run with the ball or to see his dribbling skill, how he can maneuver and pass the defender. So when he sees your lapses, you take advantage of it. And again, for Liverpool, I think Liverpool, they still have some work to do because, you know, what's his name? Nunes has left. and this other guy that went to Bayern Munich and left. Those are strikers.
But I think that the work they have to do is coordinating in defense. But I still think for them to take two of their defenders out in the 60th minute, 60-something minute, to take two of your defenders, and all of the four defenders communicate with each other and they know how to do it. It disrupted their communication. Then they brought in Endo, who's a CDM, and they put him in defense when they took out Frimpong and Kirkes. So I think that's a problem. But like you said, they have a lot of new guys on the team this year, and they're going to have to improve their communication. What do you think?
Yeah. Like I want to say, the English league is a different league, very fast, energetic. Maybe the coach is trying to, like you said when we were chatting, that maybe the coach is trying to, trying to rotate his players. Maybe he wants to give other people chance. Maybe the underrated Bournemouth. But Bournemouth is one team that you can never underrate because those guys are always fast, energetic.
What I think is he should have kept. He should have maybe make one substitution and keep Van. They should have kept Kirkes on the left. Okay.
Yes.
And also you have to remember that these guys press. So Liverpool presses, and Kirkes is good at pressing and then tracking back. He's good at doing both.
Yeah.
But if you know that you're going to substitute, then they needed to stop pressing because the second goal they gave up to Semenya, it was when they pressed too much and they brought too many players far forward. So if you know you're going to take out your guys, your fullbacks who know how to do both, they know how to play defense and track back, and they know how to
replace them.
You have to play more conservative and sit back. So maybe, So I still think, and also Van Dijk made some mistakes too. So there's still some, and these mistakes that they're making is not individual fault. Is the system needs to be? Those guys need to understand each other, and they're very lucky to come out of this game with 3 points. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, like I told you before this time, if it was maybe Liverpool, Chelsea, Arsenal, or Man U they were playing, I don't think Liverpool would have gotten away with these 3 points. It might be would have ended in a draw.
Especially against Arsenal, which has Saka on the wing.
Yes, and also we have you have Martinelli. We have the Arsenal midfield is strong right now. It's just because maybe and again, the advantage is Gakpo and Salah. Salah is experienced and he's fast. He has the experience. He's fast. He knows how to dazzle himself. That's what gave Liverpool. That's what weakened Bournemouth. If the game has continued with 2-2 without Liverpool scoring the fourth goal, who knows? Maybe the game would have ended 3-3. But Bournemouth, that third goal.
And there was so Bournemouth scored 2 goals, and Liverpool scored 4, but that was a very close game. And Liverpool had a lot more shots on goal. They didn't capitalize off of as much as they could. But before this game, Liverpool was predicted to score 2.2 goals. So they scored 4, but to me, the fourth goal was just like the other team is tired. You understand that type of thing? So they scored 3 goals.
Salah just took advantage of it.
They had 19 shots. So it's clear that their weakness, because they held the ball 61% to 39, 463 passes. Their weakness is that they're liable to counterattack. So they just need to be very careful with their press. And they need to, and once again, they need to make sure that their defense is solid. You can't have guys back there in the wrong position. Endo and Gomez were out of position in defense. They're not supposed to be playing the positions that they could. But I think what it was is that because they were leading 2-0 and it was Bournemouth,
they underrated them.
Season, you want to rest your players because rest is very important. But how do you see the play? So Salah finally scored a goal. How do you see the play of Liverpool's forwards today? What do you think? And then we'll leave from there. What do you think about their forwards? How do they play?
Liverpool, they are forward. I don't have issue with Liverpool forward, at least.
Salah today. How do you see them today?
One thing about the EPL, as the game starts, it gets better and better. So for now, I can't really use this game Bournemouth to rate Liverpool. Maybe in their next game or the third game. But, since with their frontline experience and the new signing, the new striker is still experienced. I think
this guy came in Chiesa came in after he had a bad year last year because of injuries. So that's good because that means they have depth. They have Ekitike, they have Chiesa, they have Salah. So they have a bunch of guys who can score. And they should if Chiesa can have a good year, then Ekitike and him can trade places. Because you have Champions League, you have cups and everything, so at least we know that they're deep.
FA Cup.
Yes, and I don't think they're going to miss.
The Liverpool coach, I think, to me, he still has lots of work to do because by the time you start playing bigger teams like Man U, Liverpool, Newcastle, Chelsea, Arsenal, Man City. Some of their weaknesses will begin to
and I think
begin to be exposed, and they will learn from there.
they've got a good midfield. They've got a good attacking and playmaking. They may need to work on CD. Who's their CDM?
Let me see now. I can't remember the guy's name, but I think Liverpool, where they have more challenges should be in the defense. They need to work on their defense because sometimes, like you said, what's it called, Van Dijk and Konate, sometimes they lose communication. And with that, when who is supposed to go, who is not supposed to go, if you don't communicate very well, your opponent will take advantage of it. So I think they need to really work on it.
Yeah, the coordination. But also, I think that CDM position is key for them too, because they need, and also, but in general, because of the way they play, McAllister and not McAllister, their fullbacks do a lot of role in the midfield, so they don't really have a true solid midfield. They have a good attacking midfield, so they have to watch out for that. But no matter what, just like with Barcelona, with the way Liverpool plays with their press, the high press, and bringing their fullback forward, they're always going to have some liabilities in defense, and they're always going to have to score a lot of goals. They're going to have to score a lot of goals to win games. All right, so that's it for today. I'm just trying to find out before I go who their CDM is. Thank God for AI. This is terrible. We can tell that I'm a Man City fan and you're an Arsenal fan. So, McAllister did CDM. So McAllister played well.
Okay.
But the way that McAllister's a CDM, but he plays like a central midfielder. That's why I was confused. The way they played him, they put him far forward.
Maybe he's a versatile player.
Yeah, he's versatile, but he has to cover more space than necessary because of the structure of the team. They're like from defense straight to attack. All right. Any last words of Mr. Warif before we go? I almost called you Afolabi. There's too many names in my head.
Well, for Liverpool, most of they brought in some new players. I believe with time, they will get better as the league progresses. So for now, congratulations to them.
You're not supposed to congratulate them. You're an Arsenal fan. You're even wearing Arsenal shirt.
No, I'm talking from the aspect of a sports analyst.
Yeah,
yes. But if I want to talk from the aspect of an Arsenal fan, when it was 2-2, I was just saying how I wish this game will end 2-2 so that it will be 1-1 point for them. But from the aspect of a sports analyst, I think it's a good one for Liverpool.
If they dropped a point today, that would have been a disaster.
Would have been a tough one, yeah.
All right, thank you, Mr. Warif. I'll see you again probably on Sunday or Monday. Have a good one. Yeah. God bless.
All right,
and we're going to ask all of our fans in Africa and the world. This is Niger EPL Nation, but we also cover Nigeria. We cover South Africa. Like and subscribe. Africa, one country, one love. Share, like, and subscribe. Thank you. Okay.
Thank you. Good night.